So hey guys, what's up? So welcome to World New 20 New channel. So let's talk about things to do, food for thought. The rabi crop is almost ready for the harvesting. In some cases, mustard, chana and even wheat in the Madhya Pradesh farmers have already harvested the crop and are waiting to transport them to the mandis. The country produces around 52 crore liters of milk daily. There are also 80 crore live poultry, both broilers and layers at any given time, supplying meat and eggs to consumers. These birds and animals in turn support the livelihoods of the poultry and dairy farmers as well as those producing maize, soybean, mustard and groundnut, cotton and other coarse grains that are ingredients for livestock feed. During lockdowns such as the present one, it is relatively easy to shut factories, IT parks, hotels, malls and multiplexes, but it is not so with agriculture and animal husbandry, and these sectors continue to produce. You cannot plug the udders of cows, and even if they are at home, it is the government's responsibility to ensure that farmers are able to keep their animals alive and market the crop that has been or will be harvesting during the lockdown period. We need an immediate action plan to manage our agriculture and livestock sectors in the interest of both producers and consumers. The first thing is to ensure free movement of farm produce, livestock feed and veterinary medicine. It is obvious that not all issues can be addressed overnight, but the minimum the government can do this is to ensure the ground level implementation of the already taken decisions. Many essential services, for instance, were kept out of the purview of the lockdown. Food, feed and agriculture inputs have been specifically notified as essential services, but there are several problems at the level of the implementation that are coming to notice. The center has issued various directives, notifications, many of them brief and general in nature. Based on these, the chief secretaries of the states have issued circulars to their respective district administrations. Many of these have either not reached the local authorities and police personnel or are not clearly worded. As a result, the smooth movement of essential items have been affected. There has also reports of the conflict between the police and the citizens, including people involved in the transportation and delivery of the food, as well as input to the farm, seed, cattle and poultry, feed, fertilization, crop protection, chemicals and processing units, consumables, packing materials, labels, etc. The center must issue a single notification relating to the food items in a standard format and a uniform language so that all ambiguities are removed. This needs to be finalized after consultations with the stakeholders, and the state governments can release it to the officials working at the grassroots. The focus should be to address the problems arising from restrictions on the transport between and within states of agri-produce and inputs related to them. Another suggestion is that the Essential Services Maintenance Act (ESMA) be evoked for the delivery of all essential services relating to the food to prevent the disruption of the supplies. Right now, many are unable to run their dairies or mills to the necessary capacity because of staff shortage and outcome of the lockdown. Companies that are in a position to provide food and accommodation and within factory premises should be given the powers to deploy the minimum necessary staff for production. These workers should be restricted from the traveling outside the factory compound. Special passes can be issued by the local police station for drivers and people involved in the movement of the essential goods. There is another issue: what will happen after the lockdown ends? Many plants are now shut or working at low capacity utilization. Consumption by hotels and other institutions too is low, nor is any export or import happening. But once the lockdown ends, there will be less to procure raw material, trucks and rail racks. The government must start planning now to prevent post-lockdown chaos, especially profiteering in the event of the shortages. Smooth recovery from the lockdown is as important as managing supplies during the lockdown. Here are a few suggestions to ensure that the common man does not have to suffer hardships during and after the lockdown. First, place all food items, agri inputs, packaging material and transport services under the ESMA for a 6-month period to prevent profiteering. The MRP that was applicable in February should remain till October. In the case of the farm produced health that we are looking for at a bumper crop, which makes it all the more necessary to ensure its marketing. Second, suspend APMC Agriculture Produce Market Committee laws for the next 6 months. Traders with the APMC license are bound to act as carriers during rush hour, which will hurt both farmers and consumers. Any rise in inflation not justified given the current surplus produce will hurt the government's image even if it has successfully controlled the novel coronavirus. Third, ESMA should apply to all utilities and transport services. State governments can make exemption on a case-to-case basis. These exemptions should be subject to the public scrutiny under the Right to Information Act. The government should announce the above measures will advance, and we need to prepare for the crisis, both current and prospective, during and after the lockdown. So if you like the channel, so kindly subscribe to it.